It's me. I'm outside with my birds. I'm running very behind this morning, but not that I punch a schedule ever. But ew. Just ew. So when things are too muchly much, I go outside. Hug a tree. Talk to the birds. Look up at the sky. Watch the clouds. That's what I'm doing. Look at how pretty that is. don't know. Of course I spilled my coffee. Yeah. I came into the out to try and self-regulate because I'm not having a nice morning. Oh, already had to speak with the insurance company for my benefits because I'm on disability, because I'm a broken wreck of a human. Physically, not emotionally. Well, emotionally today. I mean mentally. I got that together. Magpies are laughing at me. A-holes. But in talking to the new case manager for my benefits, I have to go over all of my updates. And then she didn't listen. She sure likes to talk to me in a sing-songy voice like I'm a 2-year-old though. So that was pleasant. So I tried really hard to not let that make me all irritated, because I was already extremely upset after having a-hole on my doorstep yesterday who only identified himself as an officer, not a bailiff, but an officer with a badge in my face that I can't see the details of through my glass door. And then when I ask, can I get my glasses, he then puts up the piece of paper. It says, please. So I step outside because I don't want my dogs to run through the door at a person, especially if it's a police officer. Already had a gun pulled on me once by an officer on my doorstep. I don't need that happening again. But then wouldn't move. Stays this close to me throughout the entire conversation. And now that I've had, time to think, morning birdies. Hi, baby. I am very glad that my doorbell recorded it and that I pulled out my phone, because that a-hole of an individual was using coercion and intimidation, which goes against what his actual job is. He's supposed to treat me with respect and dignity, not stand this close to my face and identify himself as only an officer. And then when I ask for your business card to have your details and information, which you're supposed to provide me, you walk away. Nuh-uh. No. Not acceptable. And then my wonderful neighbors, who I love dearly, who have a new baby, I get a message an hour later to let me know that there's vehicles casing my house. Nice. And that they look hinky and suspicious and scary. That's nice, because when this guy showed up, he was with someone else as well who stayed in their vehicle in the dark against just little me. How beautiful. And then when I get out my phone so I can record the conversation, because I have a traumatic brain injury, which I've explained to this individual. I don't remember conversations or details until much later, if I do get to remember them in their entirety. And he's claiming to help me, yet refuses to give me any information or tell me what it is I should be doing or what I need to know about this supposed warrant that is not stamped by any court either. So that's just an invalid piece of paper. I don't know. There's no court stamps on this warrant. Not one. Hi, Maggie Poo. Hi. Good morning. Hi, beautiful bud. Oh, and why was he here? Let me tell you. Because last year, July, something like that, it would have been July, August, I don't know, somewhere in the summer, My ex took out the side-by-side that we already owned, that I've never been in. I think I've been in it maybe once, twice. Hey guys, play nice. Be nice. I realize I'm irritated, but you don't need to be either. Also, okay? Chill. There's plenty of breakfast for everyone. Go on. Yes, go have some breakfast. Have some breakfast. Yes, pretty bird. Yes, go have some breakfast. I know, I need to chill the F out. I got it. Hey. I know. Thanks for coming to visit. Are you going to tell me some more stories, Fluffy? Oh, you're gorgeous. Yeah, you are. I left Mimi inside so she can't run at you. That's her yelling from the window. Are you leaving me already? Oh, incoming. Just getting out of the way. Hi, good morning. The way they run just makes me laugh. Yes, Chatty Cathy, you can talk to me. Maggie. Chatty Maggie. Memers, honey. Are you yelling at the bird or at me? Or dog or at me? Oh, words. Hi. No more stories? Just memers yelling at us in the background, eh? You got enough? Oh, you're making a mess. Anyways, took the side-by-side out. I didn't go because I don't bounce around in vehicles anymore because it hurts. Plus, I probably had to work or something. You know, person with responsibilities. Broke it. It no longer would go backwards, I think it was. I don't know. Ordered the parts, I think, so cost more money. And then instead of fixing it, dragged me. Under duress. I'm on multiple medications, not feeling well, and I mean sick. I am not working. I'm on disability. Shouldn't be signing any financial contracts whatsoever. He doesn't qualify for anything, so he can't sign for shit. Took me to the dealership and forced me to sign documents for a new side-by-side so that he could take it out. Well, less than a couple weeks later, if shit don't go sideways here at home and I finally stand up to him and say, no, you don't get to talk to me like that because, hey, I've been in therapy for quite some time now, been told that I have CPTSD, which he's aware of, but he continues to jump scare me every chance he gets because he thinks it's hilarious and then calls me a fucking baby for crying. Nice. Nice guy, hey? That's who I lived with. Yeah, every time I was sick, yelled at me, got mad at me. Where's my lunch? No lunch today, no coffee. Yeah, nice. Nice guy. Yeah, so I said, no, you don't get to talk to me like that. So he gave me 2 weeks of silent treatment. That's what he did. Nice, hey? So finally I said no. When he called home and said, what are you doing today? And he said, your only reason for living is to call about my business and deal with the business stuff. The next day, what is it that you're doing today? When he called home. And then he says, no, your only reason for existing is to deal with the insurance. This is after I have been diagnosed with CPTSD and I'm dealing with some major stuff and I had to take off work because I can't function. Yet this is how my supportive spouse is treating me on a daily basis. Why can't he make these phone calls and act like an adult for once? Ask him. Hi, beautifuls. I know I'm ignoring you. I'm not. I'm still here. So yeah, and standing up to him, I said, you know, Caitlin and I are gonna go spend the night at my parents' house. He said, don't bother. We're done. Excuse me? Expecting me to go after, oh no, please, please, please. Okay. But no, we're not settling things. You don't get to bully me into property division before we've even come up with a separation agreement legally and before you've even left the house. This is the exact same moment that I said I was going to go spend the night at my parents' house. Not that we were done, not that we were leaving, because I never threatened that. Yet I got to listen to that for the entire time we were together, because if I don't do it, some other bitch will. That's narcissistic abuse. Years of it, where I'm sure I was spoken about by everybody, because he labeled me as Lord knows what around everybody we knew. But I was the problem. No, that saint that you think is so fabulous and wonderful, he's abusive to his wife and daughter on a regular fucking basis, treating us like we are the scum of the earth. Yet I cater to his every need and take care of him as if I am a 1950s housewife and his mother. Disgusting. Well, he calls me names, treats me like garbage, and yells at me when I'm so sick I can't move, and I'm on our bathroom floor puking and shitting myself. Yeah, calling me a horrible mother for not looking after my daughter when I'm at the hospital with her. Where's he? At home. Nice guy. So then he refused to leave and locked me out of the bedroom. Me, with all of my injuries, had to sleep on the couch. When I finally got access to our bedroom, my daughter and I could lock ourselves in there with the dogs because he was taking the keys for everything. He would have taken my vehicle keys had I not kept them on me. Hiding butter knives in the drawer and telling me I'm losing my mind. You're the only one who uses them. You're the one who does the dishes. You're losing it, lady. If you're not careful, they're going to come and take your kid. Nice guy. Oh, and a restraining order? That's just a piece of paper. That's not going to stop him from driving his vehicle through the front door of our fucking home. So keep that in mind if you ever think of locking me out. Well, when I finally did get him locked out of the bedroom, and he came and went as he pleased, and did as he liked, and fed himself, yet refused to provide anything for myself or my daughter, his daughter. We're locking ourselves in a bedroom at night because we're terrified. Because he is scary in his detachment, saying to her face, I will never leave you or abandon you, yet haven't heard a word from you for almost a year. It's been 8 months. Not a fucking inquiry as to how his daughter's doing with her health. Diagnosed fibromyalgia at age 14, going to be in pain for the rest of her life. Connective tissue disorder. I have it. Finally confirmed after 46 years of being told that that pain can't be real. You're exaggerating, you're faking. Baby fragile. You wuss. You wimp. Suck it up, princess. Attaboy, girl. Yeah, you're so strong. You're so resilient. No, I fucking survived. Barely. So then he says we can arrange all this property right now. I've even got the neighbor across the alley to take over the payments on the side-by-side that I made you sign for. Already had it arranged. And all I said was that I was going to go spend the night at my parents' house. Piece of work. Made sure my bank account was cleared right out. I had, several $100,000, $200,000 from an automobile settlement that took 7 years to get. Hi, Maggie. Nope, new trailer had to be bought, vehicles. I'm stuck with payments on my vehicle, plus a side-by-side. And then he refused to give me any money. Wouldn't contribute to any of the bills, nothing. I paid for everything until my bank account was empty. All the promises of, I'll give you money every week. I'll pay for it. I'll. Haven't seen it. Didn't see it then either. Heaven forbid you should question or ask about anything, because it'll be turned around on you every time. Talking in circles, good luck with that anymore. I call people on their shit immediately now because I can't tolerate any. I refuse to. My peace and my sanity mean everything to me. Everything. With the shit I still have to deal with on a regular basis. I'm not talking my health. I'm not talking the fact that on a daily basis, I wake up in pain or sick. Hi, beauty. Are you talking to me? Hi, pretty bird. Hello. Thank you. It's nice to see you too. Don't worry, she's inside. She can't get you. I made the mistake of forgetting how magical I was once. It'll never happen again. Because those who want to will. They'll prove who they are over and over again. Actions speak louder than everything. Change only comes with action. Forgiveness absolutely is available for some. Some things can never be forgotten or forgiven. And they won't be. Because I don't have to. The only person I have to forgive is myself. Forever having thought that there was a decent bone in your body. And when you have looked into the eyes of the person who you trusted with everything, and there is nothing there but hatred and venom and disgust directed back at you, nothing else will ever affect me that way again. You see, I recognize that look also. Same one my parents had. Repeatedly growing up, and recently, that look of disgust. But that's not at me. It's their inability to accept my truth, my originality, my complete and utter belief in self. Because I've had to. I've been alone. Oh, that poor baby. I gotta go rescue my puppy. Memers, honey, stop. Oh yeah, I spilled my coffee also this morning. It's been a day. But hey, they're still birds. Hi, pretty bird. You have a mohawk like a cardinal. I saw you yesterday. Still trying to figure out how to write a statement of defense so that we don't get evicted from the home I've paid for 18 years. The only thing my daughter and a half at the moment, you know, because we couldn't afford rent anywhere if we even found a place. Fucked is kind of how I'm feeling today. Because that's the reality of the situation I've been put in, not through choices of my own. the lovely new lady in charge of my file, don't you have family or friends to support you? Nope. I don't. Because they're all toxic AF a-holes who can't see past their own faces and continue in their little merry ways. Mom and dad with their armbands every day. How's that going? How's that body treating you? You sleeping good? Oh, right, you don't sleep. You drink until you pass out every night. I was really young when I figured out I couldn't talk to my parents past the 6 o'clock news. Because if I did, the conversation would be completely different. So you learn to monitor people and act accordingly. Because you're forever on edge. Because no matter what you say or how you act or what you do, it's never good enough. And you're always going to be the issue, but you also have to be the peacemaker. I've never heard an apology from my parents. Not once. Because somehow a child was at fault for things in an adult world. I changed the world because my daughter, she knows different. She knows she's loved. And aside from the blip that was caused by school, awful, horrible physical situation that she has no control over, and a father whose only thing she ever wanted was love, who couldn't even love himself. Never mind give in any way other than torture and pain. As he would sit in a chair outside and make her clean up the dog shit. The girl whose ankles are subluxing, dislocating, falling out of joint, knees that ache like arthritis, and bones that burn from head to toe while she's in tears when I'm not available. That's abuse. So because I'm incapable of doing my housely chores, he'd force her to when I was unavailable. I didn't understand or know or realize the extent of it because my daughter was keeping it from me. Because she didn't want to add to the pain. She thought she was the undoing of our relationship. No, she saved me. I'm just sorry it took so long for me to save her. But when you are literally having your life threatened on a regular basis, start off a sentence with, I was thinking, and the response every time is, that's your first problem. You stop asking, does this look okay? Because heaven forbid, the only comments you ever do hear is, what the fuck are you wearing? What is that? You're wearing a dress? Yeah. Or the accusations that, I had to have been cheating repeatedly, even to the point where my daughter wasn't his. Yet, so controlled that I wasn't allowed to be on the phone with friends, no conversations, only allowed to talk to him during my breaks. He'd keep me on the phone nonstop, so as to prevent me from talking to others. So when that all stopped and I questioned it, it was my fault. Well, it's because you don't chat, you don't blah, blah. No, he's covering up for what he's actually doing. The entire time. You see, I was the shield for his real life. His real emotional connections were never with us. Because he doesn't make those willingly. Not that way. No, there's a sickness there. A hate for women. Those bromances. Pretty frickin' interesting. I was never the problem. But I'm absolutely my solution. Because I have no other choice. The label narcissist gets thrown around really easily. But the true narcissist is evil. It is the most sick, twisted, disgusting pretend of a human that you could ever imagine. You see, they play a hero to everyone else. Well, their family suffers harsh penalties for non-compliance, or even the perception of non-compliance. Have you ever heard of stories where people wake up from nightmares and they actually carry that emotion into their day and they're legitimately mad at somebody they had a dream about? That was my life. He walked around that way where I was a scapegoat for everything. Everything and anything had to be my fault. And all I ever did was try to love him. Because that's what I so desperately wanted to have back. But that love bombing at the very front, that terrifying, all encapsulating, he even told me I was in training. I giggled. I thought it was cute. Nah, that motherfucker was serious. If food was served incorrectly, didn't have the right taste or texture. Hi. You love me, no matter what. And I love you too. Yes, I do, pretty bird. A lot we can learn from birds, such as how to be human. Isn't that sad? It's reflected everywhere around us in how we should be, connected, cohesive, together, yet we all do the exact opposite. Constantly. Well, not all of us, but the vast majority, with your heads down, staring at your little screens, marching through your days, existing, not truly ever living. Humans doing, do, shitting all over each other in the world. And it's okay, because it doesn't affect you. It doesn't impact you. Until it does. Chronic illness or disability is non-discriminatory, but the world is. It's an ableist, elitist world where if you don't have money or health, you're fucked. And that's the plain end of it. You have no say in anything. Nothing. In order to exist. I have no choice in my medical appointments, who I get to see, what medical procedures. I don't get a say. Nice. The treatment protocols are to try all the medications, proving they don't work first. I'm a walking lab experiment with no say. And when I do speak up, just give it time. That can't be your real, that can't be your experience. That'll go away. You know what? When somebody says to you how they feel or what their experience was, you don't get to question that. And then there's the catch. What do you do about the a-holes in the world? Because there's so many of you. The pretenders, the fakers, the liars, the manipulators. I'll say and do pretty much anything to get whatever it is I want. And you're okay with that and existing in it. And you wonder why your life is shit. Why your health's gonna start to decline. Why the people start falling out of your life. Or why you never actually seem happy. You can fake it once in a while, but when you're all by yourself, how do you truly feel? Because when I spend time outside with my birds, or just anywhere, alone, I am in bliss. Except for when I'm, pissing and shitting at the same time. That's just awful. And barfing all at once. Because that does happen. Aside from that, my life is perfect. Because I removed the toxic a-holes out of it. Or the universe removed them for me. But I've kept it that way. I am not chasing people who refuse to put in the effort. Or think that I'm just an option. I've worked too hard to be alive every day to allow that. I know my worth. I forgot it, but I remember again. No one gets to quantify how I feel, especially about me. I don't have to defend myself or my character to anyone because, hi, Mr. Crow. Can hear his flapping before he shows up. My actions ring true for who I am. I've never wavered. And when I have, I apologize when I fuck up. Ask my daughter, she'll tell you. Absolutely, mommy apologizes when she's wrong. Which isn't very often. And that's not a conceit. That's a knowing of the right and the wrong in the world. And standing up for it every time. Without that fear of what's going to happen to me. Because you know what's worse? Is what happens to everyone else. And that's how I've moved through life. Is that if this horrible thing could happen to me, it could happen to someone else. The world should be changed. I'm going to do something. And that's how the world is fixed. Not by complaining about it and doing nothing. Y'all seem to be really good at that. You make music about it. You dance about it. You make comedy about it. Yet nobody is actually doing much about it. There's a few here and there. But globally, if every person, even half, heck, consciously decided every moment of every day to move with thought, kindness, and consciousness towards others, compassion, the fact that, hey, what if this was me? Accessibility in the world should just be. We should all have the ability and the availability to everything. The insurance company needs to send me a whole ton of paperwork. We're in a current postal strike. Yet I have to do this paperwork because you have to file for any other available benefits so that the insurance company doesn't have to pay you. Yeah, so I have to file for my CPP disability stuff so that they can deduct that from what they're already paying me. I might get approved for the child tax disability, blah, 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 which will give us an extra $300 to $400 a month. Great. Awesome. That doesn't cover anything except for maybe some groceries. Ooh, gas to get to the multiple medical appointments and the parking every time. Yeah. Sweet. But I have to do it. Yet, a new printer ink cartridge is going to cost me $50 for my printer. I have to spend my last $120. $20 in fuel. Hi, pretty bird. I'm sorry, was I ignoring you? Good morning. I'm sorry. Good morning, gorgeous. Yes, you're beautiful. I love you. Yes. Pretty bird. Thank you for visiting. You're gorgeous, you know. You're beautiful. Yes, you are. And I appreciate you. Thank you. Do you have stories to tell me? Or you just wanted my attention? Because you have it. You threw it on the floor. It's by the chair. You're just gonna leave it for my dog? Okay. Silly bird. Yes, silly bird. You are very beautiful. Yes, you are. Yeah, it's on the ground still. Yep, right there. You knew all along. Yes. Are you leaving now? Did you get it all? I'll see you later. Come back. We'll chat. I'll still be here. Yes, I will. See you. Don't ignore the birds. They'll yell at you. Oh, yeah. To try and print off this booklet of government forms that have to be completed now. They can't courier them to me because they don't have that kind of money. They can't mail them to me because there's a postal strike. I have to somehow figure out how to print them now. Oh, but she's going to look into that because I have $0. And it's going to cost 25 cents a sheet to print off at the library. And it's pages upon pages upon pages. Like 20 plus pages. And they need the original wet ink signature, of course. So then I got to figure out how to get it back to them. Also, the original. Yeah. How about you sort your shit? Because this is an ableist, elitist world. And unless you find a way to assist me with this, I'm not going to be able to fulfill this. I can't print that document off at home right now. My last $120 is going to go to trying to save the roof over our house somehow. I don't know how I'm doing that yet. I don't know how court works like that, but I have to go figure that out next week all by myself. There's a bird talking. Yeah, last $20 is going to go to fuel. Costs $100 to file that statement of defense. Hopefully not more than that. Oh, and parking downtown? I don't know. You gotta pay everywhere. I can't park at a transit station because you gotta pay like $4 now to ride the train. I don't have $4 fucking dollars. Nothing's in walking distance for me. Especially in downtown. You're talking like 6 blocks. Or more. I can't do that physically. Ableist, elitist world. But hey, you only have 21 days from the date you're served in order to file a statement of defense. Better go talk to a lawyer. I'd love to, but I can't afford one. Go to legal aid. I'd love to, but I'm waiting till November. Because you only get so much time in front of one. And I've been waiting an entire year to file my separation and divorce stuff that has to get started. So that I can get financially untangled from the a-hole I'm tied to, whose name's on this property as well, unfortunately. Should never have done that. He didn't pay a cent of the down payment. Not one. But I'm an idiot. No, I'm not. I'm extremely trusting and loving, and really used to believe that there was good in everyone. I keep getting proven wrong. So I'm gonna believe it. Not everyone is good. And not everyone deserves your forgiveness, or your time, or your attention, or anything from you. especially when you don't get any of that in return. Or it's fake, pretend, flashy for 5 minutes and then disappears again. No, thank you. I'm as real as it comes. And that's I'm as grounded can be. I know my worth, and I know what's important in this world. And it sure as fuck ain't bullshit from people. So I'm gonna continue to call everyone on it. You step out of line, I'm gonna ask you why. How come you don't think the rules that apply to everyone else don't apply to you? How does that serve anyone's best interests? Typically, it doesn't. The lovely mom whose daughter was freaking out at the cash register, and the 5 people standing in line just staring. I asked my daughter to hold our groceries, and I walked over and I said, "Hey, little miss, you need to be nice for your mama. Your mama needs you right now." That lady looked at me, shocked, and with the biggest sense of relief. She had tears in her eyes. Her daughter was overwhelmed. English was not her first language. In that 5-second exchange, I found out that she was new to the country. That little girl. And everything had just been too much. My 5 seconds of interaction with that little girl was enough to calm her down and help that mom get through the till, while everyone else stood there agape, judging that mom for her poor mothering skills. No, you a-holes. I judge you for not stepping in to help. It takes a village to raise the future of humanity. I'm the village. I am the safe place. I am the love. I don't have to look anywhere for anything because I am all of those things in a world that doesn't allow it. And I will continue to be all of those things because the world needs it. Everybody needs it. And those who continue to fuck around are gonna find out. Not by my hand. No. I don't have to do that. I wouldn't anyways, because I'm not like you, number 1. And number 2, that's on you, boo-boo. Call it reciprocity, karma. What goes around comes around. It's an exchange of energy. What you put out into the world returns. What are you putting out to the world? I choose me every day. And anyone who can't, see ya. You're not worth my time. Because that's all I have. And it's precious. As am I. If you do not add to my life in a meaningful way, no thank you. Because that is what I've had to do to protect who I am. And nobody's gonna take that from me ever again. Ever. I am magic in how I feel about the world and in how I view it. I am absolute magic and love in how I can talk to nature. I will never, ever lose that again. Ever. And if I can share my experiences to help others get through theirs, I'm changing the world. I'm doing what I can to make real, significant changes. Even if it's just one person, that ripple effect turns into a wave of change for the entire world. I've already done that. And her name's Caitlin. And she's magnificent. So when things are gross, which they often are, step outside of that hurricane. Step to the center. Look up at the sky. And be grateful that you can see the sky. That you have that moment of grace. Fill it with gratitude. Start a list. Start small. I woke up. Not everyone gets that chance. And if you knew beyond a doubt that this was your last and there was no morrow, what would you do differently? What regrets do you have? All you have is time, this moment, the present, the gift that it is, to plant the seeds that hopefully future you gets a chance to sow, but there's no guarantee. So step outside, look up, and be grateful. And start loving yourself so that that's the sparkle you spread everywhere instead of the doo-doo.